Welcome to Spotlight at the Groove Suite, featuring today's smooth jazz and R&B artists. Chet W. Sisk is a motivational speaker who has one of those voices that would have made E.F. Hutton stop to listen. You've heard him on the Groove Suite doing station IDs, promos, and his Welcome to Life series. I first met Chet while attending Southern Illinois University for broadcasting, and he was one of those students who had his hands in everything. Radio, TV, print media, you name it, Chet did it, and did it well. Chet has taken all those skills he's mastered over the years to assist others with his motivational classes, books, and his current spoken word compilation. I'd like to thank him for joining us, and Chet, start off by telling the listeners a little more about you and your new spoken word project.
First of all, let me thank you for having me on your show, Don. It's always a pleasure to be in the presence of an alum of Southern Illinois University at Carbondale, home of the dogs. I'm a leadership development specialist with the United Nations World Assembly of Youth. I'm also a life coach, and I'm an author. I write books. So one of the conclusions I came to from my 11 years of life coaching and leadership development is that repeated messages affect behavior. You repeat anything long enough to anyone and it becomes their truth, right? So I decided to combine smooth jazz with excerpts from my upcoming book, Welcome to a Cooler World, so that we can combine great music with great messages. So this project is a combination of spoken word mixed in with music of some of the greatest emerging artists in the country. The artists include Ebony McWilliams, Greg Tanner Harris, Alicia Fall, DJ Chet W, Big Wheel. These artists are now emerging on the scene, and it's a pleasure for me to work with them.
And the compilation is also connected to a fundraiser, right?
Yes, I believe that a lot of the systems that we use in the world today have a someone has to win, someone has to lose core to it. You know, that's simply not true. It just doesn't have to be that way. But because someone's repeated that message for such a long time that we start to believe it. We start to believe it as a truth. So I decided to demonstrate a system where everyone wins. So the system is called the Quality Foods for Everyone program. Now, if anyone wants to find out more about it, just go to www.leadtheshift.com. And if you go there, you can download the 10 songs of positive, affirmative spoken word combined with the music of the musicians I spoke to you about earlier. All we ask in return is that you make a $10 or donation, $10 or more donation to the Quality Foods for Everyone program. Now, with your donation, what we'll do is that we'll purchase organic food for 10 homeless shelters all around the country. Now, I spent the last decade volunteering my life coaching skills to a homeless shelter in Denver. Now, from that time, I found out that when people donate food to shelters, they usually donate the food that they're not going to eat. A lot of sugary, fatty, unhealthy food. So, if you're going through difficulties, the stress of being homeless has already compromised your immune system, right? So, imagine giving people poor food who already have compromised immune systems. Their cold becomes a flu or something more serious. They end up at a hospital for something that was preventable. And guess what? We all end up paying for it, right? I know one thing for sure, that it's cheaper to tackle a problem on the front end than the back end. So this project is designed to do preventative health care for people in transition by giving them the best quality food and getting them in the habit of eating organically. Thus, the Quality Foods for Everyone program. Eating good food shouldn't just be for people who, can't afford it. It should be available to everyone. That's the mission of this endeavor. Now, the list of those participating shelters can be found at www.leadtheshift.com. This entire process is one where everyone wins. I believe that this social entrepreneur approach is the approach of the future, where you no longer have to rely on NGOs and nonprofits to do good work in society. That's something that should be a part of every business enterprise going forward. Every business enterprise, everyone that's being developed now, should have a better world component built into their business plan. It only makes sense. So I'm backing up my beliefs with a working model.
It sounds like you've got a plan, and it's cool that you're putting forth the effort to make a difference in the world. Now, as an inspirational speaker, do you get to travel the world?
Yes, I've been to, Hungary, Morocco, Namibia, Botswana, the Netherlands, Malaysia, Belize, South Africa, the Sudan, the UK, France, Spain, Taiwan, all over the globe, really, with the privilege of being able to hold workshops on personal empowerment and creating a new world. I believe that we're in a time of transition and that we are becoming our greatest selves. So I just figured that I wanted to drop in my 2 cents and contribute to our transformation by getting out these particular songs of spoken word and music that fill the air with positive and empowering energy.
So if this spoken word compilation and the fundraiser are successful, will you do more of them in the future?
Oh, absolutely. I enjoy the process of working with musicians and finding creative ways of getting a positive and affirmative word out to the world. You don't have to, just go to church to get affirmed. You can also listen to Groove Suite and be filled with hope and possibilities too. We want to reach people where they are.
Well, the welcome mat will always be down for you here at the Groove Suite. I mentioned in the opening that you did a little bit of everything back at SIU. Now, I also heard that you were once a musician. Is that true?
Yeah. I don't know if you remember this, but I played bass in a band back in college with Kenny Ledford and Markovich Drummond. I left the musician world to go into broadcasting, but you never really stop being a musician, right? You're always a musician. You find ways of living it out. Now, here's something, Don. I don't know if you know this, but I started off as a double E-flat concert French hornist. Yeah, that's right. I wanted to be a concert French hornist, but I gotta tell you, I got no love from the ladies when I was walking around carrying my French horn case. But once I started carrying my bass case, in the shape of a guitar, I got all kinds of attention. It's crazy, but it's true.
It must have had something to do with the shape of the case. But moving right along, you also have some books on your website. Tell the listeners how they can go about finding some more information about them.
I want to encourage everyone to go to www.leadtheshift.com for information on my books, as well as the download of the 10 empowerment songs I told you about earlier. Now, all of my books are all about personal empowerment and living the life that we were meant to live, giving everyone a personal plan on how to get there. I also do online life coaching, so if there is someone who needs some support in making their lives that much more powerful, I could give them a help. I could give them the support and someone to talk to.
Chet W. Sisk, you've always been the man. And it's been a pleasure to have you shine in the spotlight once again at the Groove Suite.
Thank you, my brother, for this wonderful platform that you've created for artists and for the good news. I appreciate you. And I want again to encourage your listeners to contribute to the Quality Foods for Everyone program at www.leadtheshift.com so that we can give the gift of good food and health this holiday season. Now that's to 10 homeless shelters all around the country. Remember, it's good karma. Happy holidays.
From the Spoken Word compilation, Welcome to a Cooler World. This is Sharing by Chet W. Sisk and friends at the Groove Suite.
When we were children, Mom told us that sharing our things was good. As adults, we are now fully discovering the value in Mom's wisdom. The world trend is moving toward sharing, where we share what we have with others. We are rethinking the importance of so-called ownership and seeing that sharing just makes more sense. It's cost-effective, eco-friendly, reduces our conspicuous consumption, de-emphasizes materialism, and promotes a neighborly philosophy in the world. I have something I can share with you. Sharing is reshaping our lives in the 21st century. It speaks to our higher selves and creates a world of access to resources. Turns out Mom was right. Sharing is good.